much. We're going to move forward now. David, Martha, back to you.
Josh, thank you. I want to turn to a family that New Hampshire voters know quite well. And Senator Cruz, the issue of hostages has been a very real and painful one here in this state. As we all know, James Foley was killed. His mother, Diana, said our government should be willing to negotiate, arguing that families should also be allowed to raise money for ransom. What would you say to Diane Foley tonight? Should families be allowed to raise money for ransom for their loved ones?
Well, look, I recognize it is an agonizing experience when anyone is facing a loved member who's been kidnapped. But at the same time, putting in place legal regimes that encourage the payment of ransom has the effect of putting a bounty on other Americans. There is a reason it has been longstanding U.S. policy that we don't negotiate with terrorists, we don't pay ransoms. If you look at what President Obama has done over and over again, whether it was the James Bergdahl deal, which was absolutely shameful, releasing 5 senior Taliban terrorists to bring Bergdahl back, or whether it was this recent deal with Iran, where again up to 21 terrorists or potential terrorists were released or not prosecuted in order to bring back 4 Americans. What that does is it effectively puts a bounty on American servicemen and women serving abroad, on American tourists traveling abroad. And the proper approach is a president and commander-in-chief that defends this country and that goes after the terrorists rather than showing them weakness and encouraging them to target more Americans.
Senator Cruz, thank you. Mr. Trump, what would you say to Diane Foley? Should families be allowed to raise money for ransom?
Well, I know Diane Foley very well. Her husband, and these are tremendous people. I spoke for them. I've raised a lot of money for the foundation. I fully understand James, that was really the first that we saw really visually so horrible. And I will tell you, though, with all of that being said, you cannot negotiate this way with terrorists. If you do, you're going to have many, many more James Foleys. James Foley was a great young man. His parents are incredible people. They've done such a good job since his death. But you just cannot negotiate that way with terrorists, or you're going to have so many other James Foleys. And just one thing on the vets. During the last debate, I raised $6 million for the vets. And I will tell you something. I will tell you that I think nobody here, nobody on the stage, gets along with the veterans groups in New Hampshire better than I do, with Al Baldessaro and all of the people that I deal with. And these are great people. The one thing that we're not mentioning, there's tremendous fraud, waste, and abuse in the Veterans Administration. And if I'm running things, that's going to disappear, and it's going to disappear quickly.
Mr. Trump, thank you.